If you ground and shield in the morning and still take on parts of people's emotions or mental states, what would be best to do energetically if you are so empathetically tuned into others? Or if the news affects you a lot, for example, when it's very negative or low energy. So, grounding and shielding in the morning is incredibly important, but you can undo it. So, if I tell people, hey, in the morning, ground, shield your energy, protect it, it works fantastic, okay? The problem is when you then go about your day and you're like, well, I did this spiritual thing, right? And I went like that because everything's spiritual, but you get what I'm saying. But now I'm going to go have no boundaries with people. I'm going to go gossip with that asshole coworker. I'm going to get really upset at my mom because I have no boundaries with her and I still let her take advantage of me. And I'm going to go out with my boyfriend that's a piece of shit, but I have some strange attachment to the chaos of our relationship. You see what I'm getting at? All these examples. You will undo your protection, okay? So you have to look at, even though we shield ourselves, we ground. You can't then just go about your life like, well, whatever, I shielded myself so I can do whatever. You have to treat the rest of your experience spiritual. And I don't mean that to put pressure on you for the whole day. I mean you and everything going on is spiritual. We don't look at it like that because it doesn't seem as magical. So, like when you're taking a walk, you're like, I'm just taking a walk. Well, that is magic. That is, you are a spiritual being inside of a physical body on this planet, and you're walking through all this energy. And even if all it looks like is flowers and trees and the sun, all of that is spiritual. All of that has auras. All of that has energy coming off of it. So my point is that really to to function well spiritually and to have protection and boundaries, you have to treat everything like that. So you can't ruminate the rest of the day. You can't worry about the future constantly. You can't eat like shit. You can't drink and do drugs all day. You can't put up with other people's bad behavior. Obviously, it's very hard to go, well, I'm going to stop doing all that right now. But you can see why I push for self mastery along with the psychic abilities, because we are to master everything, okay? And if you shielded it and grounded in the morning, which is great, do that please. Then you look at your entire day as a spiritual practice of sorts. Like, I'm going to eat well and I'm going to have some physical activity, and I'm not going to hang out with that person that makes me feel bad. And I'm not going to be, a dumping ground for someone's issues. You will notice that protection then is up all the time, and your life, your energy, your vibration will start to reflect that. Okay? So yes, your whole existence, everything you do is spiritual. It is a spiritual practice. Okay? So we can't just go about things throughout our day blindly and then say, why'd that happen? I shielded myself this morning. It's not how it works. You're that powerful that you can undo it. And also, Spirit doesn't want us being passive. So when you're asking for shielding, which is perfect, and you're shielding your aura, you have to recognize that you are doing that. You have created that protection, and you also need to carry that protection with you later in the day in the multiple ways that you handle and carry yourself, right down to the decisions we make, the things we ingest, and I don't just mean eating, I mean ingest mentally. So that's where you need to look at yourself as a whole. If I'm absorbing other people's emotions, that means to me you don't have boundaries. Okay. And sometimes I have people that come to me and they are doing all the right stuff technically, but then I find out that they are all day invested way too much in other people, worrying about people way more than they should be, to the point where they've now formed cords of attachment to these people, or they're so insecure about what someone thinks of them that that's creating these different sort of attachments. All that stuff affects your energy. So it always points to someone not having boundaries. And a lot of my clients do what I do to some extent, and they are not disconnecting from clients. They think about their clients later, they worry about them, they worry, did I give good advice? That's a form of not having boundaries, and before you know it, you are connected to these people you're worrying about and you're taking in their energy. You can have all the protection you want, but if you are doing that, it's like having no protection at all. The same thing with the news. Now, I'm not saying that we don't need to have some awareness of what's going on around us, but we are flooded with shit, and a lot of shit we can't control. Most of it, actually. And it's really not for us to worry about or take on, and the news just pushes it so you get upset, you worry, and you scroll, and it's a mess. What's most important is saying, I'm not scrolling, I'm not watching the news. If it affects your energy negatively, don't watch it. And you have other assholes that say you have to know what's going on, you have to know this. You don't. You can choose how invested you are with things, but you have to put up those boundaries, okay? So if watching the news or things that don't make you feel good don't make you feel good, have a boundary and stop watching it, because spirit, even though you shielded yourself, they're like, well, why are you watching all these starving people? Like, either do something and help and assist. That way you can help a person and then you feel good, you helped them, they feel good. But don't just sit and watch trauma.